Hey guys, it's Dev and welcome to 2020. I hope you guys are having a good year so far. It's only been a few days, but yeah, I hope it's been a good few days at least. So, welcome to the tutorial. We are going to talk about 3 basic framing techniques to try and teach you guys some film theory and photography theory, cinematography theory, stuff like that, to get you guys to take better photos and to understand photos a little bit better too. So let's talk about the first one that you're actually seeing on screen, which is center framing. Now, just think of the phrase, the center of attention. That sums up the whole rule and why you want to use it up pretty nicely, but I'm going to explain it anyway. So, why you want to center frame something is because we as humans look at the center of an image first, and that's a good way to grab your audience's attention and instantly show who is important on screen. Now, you can also use the rest of the screen to tell where we find the character and stuff like that. So let's look at an example. If we take a look at this first one of the guy talking in a panel, we can see he's in the center, he's the first thing you saw, and then you looked around and saw, okay, there are people's heads looking at him, he's somewhere fancy, so he's doing some sort of panel or something, and he's talking to these people, which means he's very important. And because of the scenario, I center framed him because he is the center of attention. See, that phrase is coming back again. But let's look at another example. So if we look at the photo of Heinrich, we can see he's in the center. You first saw the person standing in the middle of the road, and then you realize it's a road, he's in the city, and it's cool, there's colors and stuff like that. He's alone, it's a photo shot, it's a portrait shot. But yeah, that's center framing. Pretty simple, not too much of like depth. It's just, it's to grab your attention and show you who's important instantly. Let's talk about the second rule, which is the rule of thirds. Now, most of you know this rule. You've seen it before, you just didn't know what it was. And you've seen it on your phone. It's that little grid that you see in your camera app. Now, you probably turned it off because it irritated you and stuff like that, but I'd recommend turning it back on if you have not already. Basically what it does, it splits your screen into thirds, so there's 1/3 here, 1/3 in the middle, 1/3 here, same thing with up and down. Now, it creates like a grid line, it creates a grid pattern, and how you want to use this rule to like effectively use the thirds is you want to frame your subject on one of the lines, and you want to put the most important part of the image on one of the crossing points, so where a vertical and horizontal line meet. Now there are some feelings you can create with the rule of thirds. So let's look at some examples. So let's look at this photo of Eddie van Wyk. We can see he's on the right side of the screen, his face is roughly there where the vertical and horizontal line meet in the top right corner. And we can see he's got space to look at to his left. He doesn't feel cramped, he has space. You can see his whole body, you can see his arms, you can see everything. And it creates this feeling that our character is aware of what's going around them and there's nothing really in their way. Same thing with Nulay on the road. On the right side, her face is where the lines meet, top right corner, and she's got space to her left for her legs. So it makes it a more comfortable photo. It doesn't feel uncomfortable, it feels comfortable. Now the opposite of this is also true. If we take a look at this photo of Devon, we can see I put him on the left side, but he's also looking left. And a part of his hand is cut off, and a part of his face. It makes it feel more cramped, more caged, and that's exactly what I was going for because he's behind the fence. And the fence gave off a caged feel already, so I just wanted to emphasize that. So he's feeling caged in this image, that's the vibe I was going for. You also see this technique in horror movies. They always frame the person, like the main character that's going to get killed or whatever, they always frame them close to the side with little to no looking space. Now looking space is that space on the left. And it creates that uncomfortable vibe. That's why horror movies make you uncomfortable. It's a subconscious way of making you feel uncomfortable. But yeah, that's the rule of thirds. It has a ton of meanings, like I can't cover all of them. There are really a lot of ways you can interpret it. It really just depends on the image and what the person is trying to tell you with what is in frame in the background or foreground or to the left, to the right, how they're looking, where they're looking, stuff like that. There's a lot to cover. But I'm not going to do that in this video. So let's talk about the third rule, which is symmetry framing. Now this is framing a subject or an object to create symmetry, like a reflection essentially. That's the easiest way to remember it. It's like a mirrored effect. You see this in landscape shots with lakes and stuff. There's always a mountain or something being reflected, or a building, or just something interesting that is symmetrical. So if you were to fold the photo on the line of symmetry, it would look like it's the same photo. Now, if we take a look at my examples that I have, that I took, you can see in this hotel, we can see they are left and right side look pretty similar. The architecture is like the exact same on both sides. And the only difference is, in the center I have 2 people. And you're like, okay, but that isn't symmetrical. This doesn't count as symmetry framing. It does still count as symmetry framing because it is the main framing I used. I just broke the symmetry to grab your attention towards the people in the center. I also used center framing and put them smack dab in the center, so it's the first thing you look at. Now, If we take a look at another image where I used the rule of thirds, but then used symmetry framing to break the rule, you can see the guy's against the glass is reflecting him, it's a rule of thirds, his head is where the two lines meet, he's on the right side, he has his looking space, and the only thing that is symmetrical is his reflection in the window. So why would you want to break the rules? It's basically just to express your creativity and to get the point or the story you're trying to tell across a little bit better. Now, breaking the rules is not always a good thing. It can be, but it's not recommended. So stick to the rules if you're not used to them yet, but don't be afraid to break them. Like, be creative, express yourself, tell your story. And yeah, if you guys found this video helpful, please like, comment and subscribe. Follow me too, because this is on IGTV as well. And yeah, this has been Dev, and I'm out.